Good morning, good day, good afternoon, Power Hitters, Solar Warrior Tribe. Today is Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. My name is Jarrett McAllister, your mentor and co-host, alongside my brother in arms, Mr. Tom Cotter. What's up, bro?
Good morning.
How you doing?
I am doing awesome this morning.
Good.
I am doing awesome. Hey, I'm going to do something real quick here, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm just going to be super cryptic about it. So if you want to lead into wins here, so we're going to share some wins from the team. I'm going to start a timer. Timer started right when our recording started, basically. I'm going to be sharing something interesting for everyone here in a bit. So let's jump into some wins from the rest of the team. But welcome, Solar Warrior Tribe. Welcome, Power Hitters. Welcome, friends. We're going to share a quick win right now. Don't want a 5-minute story, but a short story about what's working in your business. It's super helpful for people who are new on the platform to hear what is working for other people. We've got Jason here from SolarEdge going to be talking about enhanced services. Make sure everybody has the new homeowner presentation, know where you can find it in knowledge base. So I've got the link that we'll share to that as well. Talk about operations and setting expectations with the homeowner, and also your expectations for pre-sales and post-sales. We've got some important updates, basically some of the things that Jonathan Budd covered in the masterclass immersive this last week. And then we'll talk about what's coming up next for us this week. But Jarrett, you want to take us into some team wins?
Yeah, absolutely.
No quotes from Anchorman. No quotes from Anchorman during this, please.
Milk was a bad choice. Really quick, and we're going to do all of that within an hour. So it's going to be jam-packed.
Fast meeting today.
Watch us do this. Yeah, let's talk about some team wins. Looks like we already have some people that have their hand up. Barry, I see you at the top. Go ahead. You have a quick win you'd like to share with everyone?
Yeah, I do actually. 2 quick wins real quick. With Chris Brunasso as the mentor, a couple of days ago, I got my first sale.
Yeah.
And since I had prior solar experience, he fast tracked me into tier 2. But in the meantime, I had another one last night with Cynthia Alvidrez as the mentor, and we did a 1-call close on that one. So rocking and rolling.
Right on, Barry. Great job, brother. Good start.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, we got David up next, and then we'll do Iselia, Carlos, and then Vic. How's that sound? So go ahead, David.
I have a couple. Stephen Queen on my team in New Jersey is doing his test for a mentor this week, which I'm super stoked about. Just an awesome person. I have a 23 kW getting installed this week. It will be less than 6 weeks here in San Diego and Escondido, and it's going on the barn that's about at least 200 feet from the MPU, and it will work with the existing conduit. It's amazing. So I'm super excited about that one going in, and I've got a good number of people from a solar company that are going to join my team in the next week or two that were recently laid off.
Cool, man. Well, right on. Cheers to many successes, David. Rocking it. Let's move this along. Iselia, it's good to see you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a little under the weather, but here I'm just really excited for my team. So I have Joe Medina, who closed 2 deals last week, 1 away from another deal to become a mentor. And then I did 1 follow-up appointment. It's August, you guys, was the hottest month. So this is follow-up time. Followed up with a homeowner. We had an in-person visit, closed that one yesterday for my mentee, Victoria. And then also another in-house presentation, 1 closed sale for a family in South Central. So don't ever underestimate the area that you can go solar. So I'm really excited. As a mentor, you have a lot of responsibility, and excited to help my team. So
awesome. Great job, Iselia. And it's been, can I just say from afar, watching you grow in this industry and in this business, I mean, all the work that you've been putting in over the past year and a half and more, it's been impressive. So keep it up.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Carlos, go
Hey,
ahead, brother.
everybody. How's it going, everybody? Actually, last week I did close another deal. I wasn't feeling good, so I wasn't on the call last week. But closed another deal last week. I'd been working on him since May. It's a ground mount. He's excited to be going with us, and just being consistent, just trying to stay as consistent as I can with my situation. So got another one that I'm working on. Actually been working on him for 2 years. First he had personal stuff in his life that showed up, then Sally wrecked his house, and then I had my stroke, and now we're back at it. So hopefully I'll have him pinned down by this time next week.
Awesome, man. Great job, Carlos. Love your perseverance, brother. It's inspiring, man. Truly. Vic, let's go ahead. You can be the last one of the day.
Hey man, how's it going? Just excited to be on the platform. Shout out to my mentor, Marcus Mason. We've been doing solar since 2015. We started with Solar City, and then we expanded into Central. We helped develop those offices out there, opened up several offices in California for them. I just had my first deal go through with Powur. It's actually for a developer out in California. They're called On Track Building. This is the first one that went through. It's in the M1 phase already. We'll be in the M2 phase soon. And this is just the first of 12 leads that I've already put into the system for this developer. This is going to be a major contract, big business for us. And I just want to introduce myself to the whole team, say what's up, and let you guys know why I'm here. I'm here with a goal. I'm here with a focus to build the best fucking solar team in America. And that's what I'm going to do.
Right on, Vic. Love it, brother. Welcome to the team, man. It's good to see an OG solar rep come into Powur and bring the heat. So excited to see what you can bring here, man. So good stuff. And then real quick, I have a couple wins. One, I sold my first deal over the phone yesterday. I never even thought about doing that. This guy, I had an appointment. I'm talking to him and he goes, "Oh, this is a video link. It's asking me to download something." I said, "Yeah." He's like, "I'll have to hit you back." And I said, well, really quick, before you do that, are you interested in solar? He's like, "Well, yeah, I want some panels." And I said, "Is your bill truly like $700-800 a month?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, and I just started running down the numbers. I said, "I have a system, can produce more than what you have. It's not going to cost you anything out of pocket. It's going to eliminate that electric bill. You're only going to have a payment of $197 a month to yourself, paying off your own system." I could hear him talking to his wife. He goes, "Well, babe, do you want to do it?" She goes, "Yeah." He's like, "What do I got to do?" "I got to get you qualified." "All right, yeah, let's qualify. Here's the last 4 of my social here." Closed it over the phone. Never done anything like that. It was pretty cool. So yeah, that was a cool win last night. Shout out to Brian Emery, one of my mentees, has been on the team for a little bit, hasn't generated any leads, was kind of struggling. Went out to a farmer's market in Davis and just made it happen, generated some leads over the weekend. So great job, Brian. And then also shout out to Grant Fetcher, one of my tier twos who's been working with me for a couple of years now. He's taking his mentor test today. So we'll have another mentor on the team. So great job and great success to everybody so far. Tom, you ready to move on?
Let's move on here,
Secret
man.
surprise you got?
Yeah, this surprise that I got here. Is it time yet? Oh, it's time. We got 5 seconds, and then it's time. You ready for this?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
literally
do it.
timing this down to the second right then. So that was 8 minutes and 20 seconds right there that we went through our wins. And in that time, a photon left the surface of the sun and made its way all the way from our star to the earth and impacted somebody's solar panels that you have sold them that are installed. So 8 minutes and 20 seconds is how long it takes a photon to make it from the sun to the earth. Kind of interesting, right? It may take thousands and thousands of years for that photon to make it to the surface of the sun, but it only takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds. So what can you do in 8 minutes and 20 seconds this week for your business that's very focused? What is the most impactful thing that you could do to grow your business in 8 minutes and 20 seconds? Is it calling somebody or reaching out to someone that you've been putting off? Is it following up with prospects that you have proposed? Is it reaching out to a roofing company or an HVAC company and asking them if they've ever thought about adding solar to their business? Think about 8 minutes and 20 seconds. It's really specific this week, but I want you to remember that. And think about all of the amazing things that happen because those photons keep coming nonstop. They add up, and they add up to creating current on the solar panels that we're selling that power people's lives. So,
right. You know, you can make a lot of magic happen in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Let me tell you, that's incredible. And Tom, that is why you lead these calls. That was awesome.
So we had a huge month in August, everyone. So 23 megawatts sold. Anyone want to post in the chat while I'm talking how many systems you think that is that adds up to 23 megawatts? And don't let somebody that's been in solar for 10 years get this. You know, we need somebody newer in solar that can post how many systems you think that is. So a bunch of megawatts. So keep posting. We'll see who gets it right. And 6,000 8-kilowatt systems, 2,500 systems. Yeah, I mean, if our average system size is 8 kilowatts, you know, it's going to be around 25. If it's 10 kilowatts is the average system, that's 2,300 systems. And how much commissions is that if the average commission is 7,000 each and there's 2,300 10 kilowatt systems sold?
Wow.
16 million in commissions for 1 month. If everyone set correct expectations with the homeowners, right? And nobody gets frustrated and cancels. But that's what we sold. We actually installed 9.3 megawatts. So that's huge. And we had 1,208 sellers join our platform in August, plus another 238 enterprise users. So a huge month in August. We had, 40 sellers, over 40 sellers that are pacing to 300,000 annual earnings this last August. So big numbers that are coming through. And it's super fun to be on, working with a company, which is really a platform that is on the upside of the solar coaster. Throw in some solar coaster language in there for all those who have been in this for a while. It's super fun to be with this platform for me personally after, next month will be 16 years in home solar. And to see the tax credit come back, 30% federal tax credit for 10 years is huge. Right now is the time, if you're trying to create urgency to get some closed sales, right now is the time where you should be telling people they need to make a decision now if they want to be able to get installed this year for the current 30% tax credit. And
don't forget about NEM 3.0 for those in California. That is huge sense of urgency, you guys.
Yeah, and just another, so in my BNI group this last week, I talked about the urgency of the tax credit. This is in my 60-second commercial for those of you who are in BNI. If you don't know what BNI is, go to help.powur.com and search BNI once it's up and running again there. I think they're doing an update. Business Networking International. So I talked about the tax credit, talked about NEM 3.0 in California and the urgency of getting grandfathered into the current NEM 2 program. And I also talked about financing. We're going to circle back to this in a bit, but right now we've got low interest rate financing options that are probably not going to be around next month. Not from anything having to do with our company or solar finance companies in general, but just having to do with the economic climate that we're in right now with the feds continually raising interest rates. So if you look at this slide, there are massive amounts of customers that are coming. So the blue line there is if the tax credit was not extended. And the yellow, that ramp, is with the tax credit that has come back, been extended, and increased from 26% this year to 30% for the next decade. So absolutely the right place, the right time. And the longer you hang around with some of us on the Powur platform, whether it's at a live event or on a Zoom, hopefully you're beginning to see that it's also a lot of the right people that are here as well. And speaking of the right people, I want to introduce our account manager, regional sales manager. You've probably got lots of titles, but basically what you do, Jason, is you help us be more successful with your products at SolarEdge. And you have been working and talking with a lot of us leaders about how to make this relationship even better. And so thank you for being here, man. I'm super happy that we've got you to ourselves here for a few minutes.
No, thanks for having me, Tom, and thanks for the introduction there. It's really great to be here right now. We were really excited for this announcement last week, and we really consider ourselves part of the Powur family. And so a lot of the conversations we've had in the background, between Powur and between the mentors and the key team members, were to really how we can help support you guys grow your business in different ways. And so a lot of what we're going to talk about here real briefly, we covered last week as well. And the masterclass is really that effort right there. Do I have control over the slides here, Tom, or you mind?
Should be able to share your screen.
You can share your screen, or you should,
Oh.
I can just run through these slides either way.
Okay, yeah, if you don't mind doing that'd be great. So we just launched a new branding campaign called SolarEdge Home. In the chat here shortly, I'll drop a link in for you all to navigate to. But SolarEdge Home is our effort to really start marketing directly to homeowners, provide you as sales reps some materials to help go sell the brand, the products, and have a different conversation with the homeowner too, some leave behinds and whatnot there. So if you don't mind, the next slide there, Tom. So this is what we launched last week. We were really excited, obviously, to put this agreement together, this new partnership and program with Powur. And as I shared a second ago, it's an effort to make you as a team more successful out there in the marketplace, close more deals. There's a lot of value that selling for Powur presents, and we were trying to take that one step further. And so what we're doing here is really it's a two-step effort. So ultimately, we've launched what we call enhanced services. That's a program, that's a SolarEdge service that we offer to really key strategic partners like Powur. And what that means is we're ultimately going to be proactively monitoring the Powur fleet. And anytime an inverter goes down, we will capture that right away. So right now we're monitoring the fleet every other day. Soon to be, it will be a daily process. So as soon as something happens, we'll make sure that we grab that. We'll create what's called an RMA for Powur. And ultimately, in the marketplaces that we have the resources, we'll even reach out to homeowners, schedule the replacement, and roll the truck for Powur there. So not only is it a huge step in mitigating any downtime, because we're going to capture that issue as soon as it happens, but ultimately it helps reduce a lot of the burden on the Powur team, so they can really focus their operations and maintenance efforts on troubleshooting and other areas to help provide you as sales reps better service, and ultimately the homeowner better service there. So that's enhanced services. And the other piece of our new agreement here is we're offering Powur a 1 cent per watt partnership rebate. What that means then, for easy math, is if you sold a 10 kilowatt system, we'd essentially be rebating Powur $100. So by selling SolarEdge, you guys are helping build this rebate to a larger value. Now, what we're going to do with it, this is what Powur has come up with. So obviously with enhanced services, our goal is on the front end to capture any issues as soon as they happen. And then on the back end, Powur has decided that they're going to take this 1 cent per watt rebate. So again, on the 10 kilowatt system, let's say $100. $50 of that rebate will go to what Powur is deeming to be a downtime credit. So ultimately, if the system is offline, Powur is going to set a lot of the parameters of this program. So I think you all will hear more about how it's all going to work. But ultimately, if a system is offline, there will be a fund available now to help compensate homeowners for any downtime. So ideally, if we're capturing the inverter going down as soon as it happens, we're getting to that replacement in such a quick time period that the homeowner doesn't even know that it's really been down. But ultimately, if there is an issue that needs to be addressed, there's also a downtime credit too, to make sure that, when that system does go down, the homeowner is not paying a solar loan and lost production. So the other half of that now, it's going to go to you as a rep. And Powur is still working through some of the details, I think, on how this will all go. It could be either in a cash payout, form of cash there. We've had some conversations on it potentially being used to help grow your business in other areas, like in the marketing center, for instance, where there are opportunities to create direct mail campaigns. Maybe you want to provide your homeowners some swag for going solar with Powur and you. Maybe you want to, I heard somebody mention having a booth at a local farmer's market. Well, we can help fund some of those materials there for that as well. So again, the 1 cent per watt would be split up between either a homeowner downtime credit and the other half will go to you as a rep. So we feel like these two services will really put you in a much better position to close more deals with homeowners against the competition. Because not only are you going to have this at your fingertips, along with all the value that Powur can offer in the platform, but with SolarEdge, you'll be able to produce more energy as well. And so you can now sell to the homeowner, they're buying an energy system, right? Where we can help produce more energy, reduce or increase their return on their investment as well. So I think that's what we had here, Tom. I mean, yeah, we have a couple more slides here. With enhanced services, it's really enhanced peace of mind for the homeowner. It's an opportunity to differentiate, to highlight that, this is a Powur specific program there as well. And more importantly, it's going to lead to, happier homeowners for you guys as well. So more referrals, more leads, and ultimately just more business opportunities there. And here's a quick slide here to kind of break down if you were selling 10 deals per month, what that would return to you, that half of a cent a watt. So, it would be equivalent to roughly an extra $400 per month, or almost $5,000 per year. So it's a great value. Now that money may, as we shared earlier, come in the form of a cash payout or potentially, as an opportunity to help build your business through marketing efforts as well. I see some questions here in the chat. Let me address these real quick. So I see a question from Bradley here on how long it would take for a replacement to be installed. It's a bit challenging to answer in a way because sometimes it takes us time to get the homeowner scheduled and all that based on their scheduling and all that. But typically the way the program is going to work is, we're going to capture the inverter going down pretty much the day or the day after it happens. We will immediately process the replacement and get that shipped out. So from there, then it's really up to scheduling with the homeowner on when their availability is. But ultimately, we're hopeful that we can get most of these done within 2 weeks. Will Powur Solar consultant be notified if the system is down and when SolarEdge has taken a corrective action to send the compensation to the homeowner? So I think your standard process would still be to reach out to Powur for any questions, tickets, stuff like that. We'll be operating in the background and working directly with Powur's O&M team. We have a weekly meeting set up where we basically would then sit down and go through all the enhanced services and the efforts that we're making there. And as far as compensation, that's a Powur program. So I think Powur's going to have to provide more details on exactly how that's going to roll out. This program will actually officially kick off on October 1st. But any job that's being sold now would be installed after that 1st of October date. And so we wanted to kind of get this program out there in the wild to try to build up some volume so this rebates could increase and we could offer more money back to Powur as a team there. And so I see another question here. What are you doing now for existing homeowners that their inverter is down? We're actually actively addressing that right now with Ethan Miller on the Powur team. So he should have some more information for you guys very soon on that one as well. So a couple quick values here for SolarEdge. As I shared earlier, we're really happy to say that we can offer the homeowner more production. I mean, a homeowner is buying an energy system. And so it makes sense, obviously, to offer them more energy. And if we can obviously offer the support in the back end to assure them that their system is not going to be down, and if it is, we got a solution for them, that's some true value that we can really start to sell to differentiate at the kitchen table. On a PV standard system with no batteries, we can offer the homeowner 1 free week of energy per year. So over, obviously, let's say 10 years, we're looking at 50 weeks of free energy, nearly a free year of energy right there. If you go battery with this homeowner, we can actually offer about 20 days of additional free energy per year. So, and that's, you know, in the time of use market where the battery's being cycled every day. We can help mitigate some main panel upgrades. That's particularly in California, a big challenge. So, you know, if you're looking for some solutions and not only reducing the cost to avoid the main panel upgrade, but ultimately get that system installed quicker, we could certainly support very well there. And then we have a home energy ecosystem where you can really kind of grow and evolve with the homeowner. So if they started off with solar just today and they want to add an EV charger down the road, then, you know, it's very easy to wire an EV charger directly into our inverter and charge that car directly off the sun. The battery is wired directly into the inverter as well. And so, you know, if you look at a typical microinverter system where, you know, basically if the mod is producing more power than the microinverter can produce, we're going to capture all that lost energy and charge the battery. So ultimately, a few little value props there to help you close more deals. Again, more production essentially for the homeowner, along with some more flexibility and design there as well. So I'll drop a link in the chat here with some homeowner facing materials that may be helpful for you. We will be doing a regional training tour. One here in SoCal is going to come up in the next few weeks. So we'll have some more information to talk about there. We did a couple of trainings here today to help introduce the program to people on the East Coast and West Coast as well. But ultimately, Tom, appreciate you having me on here. Available for any questions here. Well, I'll stick around the call here till 11, till it's over here. So thanks for your time all. We hope this is really helpful for you to close more deals and be more competitive. So yeah, I'll be on here for a little bit longer if you have any additional questions.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it, and excited that, you know, one of the questions was, is there an additional cost to the homeowner? And, you know, it's nice that there is no additional cost to the homeowner, right? You know, this is SolarEdge adding value for us as sellers and for, you know, customers. And, you know, Powur is a unique partner of yours, right? It's a platform model. And, you know, there's not too many partners, I think, that have 7, 8+ thousand, you know, sellers that you all are, you know, training and working with. So I think it's exciting, and, you know, I'm grateful that you all are, you know, constantly trying to figure out how you can best serve us as sellers, you know, our customers, you know, and the whole company as well. So thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Tom.
So, all right, so let's switch gears here. A year ago, September, Desi, Jonathan, and I were on stage in the studio training, doing a masterclass training, and Desi did a proposal training. Jonathan did a homeowner presentation training, which is the first slide that you're looking at right now of the new deck, and I did a discovery call training. And I just want to make sure that everyone has this new homeowner deck. It's really a great presentation deck here, and I'm going to post the link in the chat. So you all should be able to download this. We're not going to do a training on this right now because we just did one last week. So in Knowledge Base, you can look up the masterclass, you can look up Powur Live, and you can get this training that Charles did this last week. Highly recommend that you think about your existing homeowner education deck if you use one. And, you know, this is a great branded deck, right? So let me just kind of walk through the slides. So for those of you who haven't seen it, or if you're watching this on YouTube later, starting off with is your home right for solar. And a little bit of discovery here, just like we had in the previous deck. This is where you would put your picture in here and any certifications. If you're selling in California, you'd want to put your his license in there, which is from the CSLB. And talking about, you know, why solar, why now, and why us. Let's see here. So why solar? The real question is, why wouldn't you? This is just a great deck. And one of the things that I would recommend is that you customize this, or consider customizing this for each utility that you work in. So you can look online search on Google News for rate increase PG&E or rate increase Dominion or Duke or APS. And you can find some great graphics or some great stats to be able to include in here so that your system is customized for each of your utilities that you're working in. You can put your own utility bill in there. You can talk about how solar works, net metering, bidirectional metering, whatever is specific for their utility. And why now? So we talked about this a little bit earlier, right? You can talk about the federal tax credit. You can talk about NEM. You can talk about financing, interest rates rising, and wanting to get in with the best rates right now. Renewable Energy Lab, about houses selling quicker and for more. And why Powur? So this is a great new slide for us that you can really talk through what makes us different and really what makes you different as a solar consultant, right? What we promise to our customers. Nick, you're asking, is the PowerPoint version now available? Yes, I just posted a link to that. So you can download that from Google Slides. So when you're in Google Slides, you go to File, make a copy, then you can edit it. And if you want to save it as a PowerPoint or Keynote, you can do that from Google Slides as well. And talking about influencing change. Jarrett, whether it's you or Jonathan, if you want to come off mute, or Rick or somebody else who's been down to Mexico, do you want to say anything about this and about how awesome it is that we can add this to our talk track with Powur about the difference that you are making in the world and the difference that we are making in the world as a company here?
Yeah, absolutely. I will just first of all say this slide deck is beautiful. This is clean. And this is what everybody's looking for. In regards to this slide right here, in my slide deck, my personal one that I've created, this is one of the first things I talk about. When I'm talking about the differences between Powur and another company, I talk about how we're a certified B corporation on a mission to do good for the planet through our business. But then I talk about our build. And if you've ever been on a build down in Mexico, it's a great opportunity. You'll have pictures of yourself down there with your team, building a house, putting solar on the roof, providing shelter, for these families with electricity. And even if you've never done one, just know that you're partnered with a company that really truly is making a difference in people's lives across the globe. So I think it's huge. Doesn't mean something to everyone, but for those that it does, it is very impactful.
Yeah. There's a couple slides here that I think are really great about who we are and what we're doing.
Yeah, and that's really what you're selling yourself against these days. It's rare that you have to sell somebody on why to go solar. In my experience these days, like most people get it. You're not convincing that solar is a better option than just forking out hundreds of dollars to a utility company. More often than not, you're trying to separate yourself from the competition. So this is big.
Yeah, and even though you may have done great discovery with that homeowner, going through this deck and hitting these different points, there may be things that are important to that homeowner that you don't even realize. And so if all you're talking about is, system cost or equipment, or even the savings, there may be other things that they value that as you go through the slide deck with them, that they're going to realize, wait, this is a lot more than just another company that's out there. This is a really great company that I want to do business with. So when you have an agenda for your meeting and when you go through the same thing every time, like in this deck, I think it really helps increase close rates.
Absolutely. And like Tom said, you guys, feel free to customize this deck, put your own flair on it, throw some pictures of yourself at your own installs within it to make it for yourself. If you've been on a build, after you talk about the things that we do, throw a picture of you and the team doing the build. Really tailor it to yourself.
Yeah, and some of us field leaders recorded some videos. Those are available in knowledge base as well. But make sure you talk about the ambassador program. You can position that as how quickly do you want to pay off your system with $1,000 referral payments. And we've got just the last thing is, I've been tempted to skip this slide sometimes, and I think that it's a important one to talk about. Option one is you can stick with your current utility. You've got unpredictable rates, whether you're in Texas, Florida, or California, our three largest states, or another state, one of the other 20 plus states that we're in. Not only interest rates are going up with financing across the board for all financing, but rates of electrical cost are going up as well, and they're unpredictable. Having a APS account or a PG&E account or an SDG&E account doesn't add any value to the home. Or option two on the other side is you can go solar for zero out-of-pocket cost. You can see long-term savings. You've got control and predictability, so you know exactly what your cost of electricity is going to be going forward. You mentioned that you are going to be retiring in 2 years, and a lot of people go solar, so I'm going into the talk track here. It adds value to your home as well. So I love this slide deck. It's great. The last thing that you can do is you can actually customize this slide based on the state spotlight in knowledge base. So the timeline here is a general timeline, but one of the things that we're adding, Daniel is doing a great job of this and the rest of the team, adding in knowledge base is a spotlight for each state that has the average install time frame. And you can customize this for each state, especially if you're doing a lot of presentations in one state or even one utility. Or you can use this general slide. So you're setting correct expectations, with the homeowner.
Yeah, if you go on that timeline, that was like a 6-month install to
three to 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So this would be with an MPU in SCE.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, and you know what? I think, I don't know if that leads us, it would be a great segue into setting expectations, which we are going to cover here in just a bit.
Yeah, if you are in the Solar Warrior Tribe Facebook group, if you look at a pinned post there, I've got all of this broken down into pre-sales and post-sales, but Kevin Smoker, our Vice President of Customer Operations, was on the masterclass last week, and he had a whole bunch of slides because we value transparency and we want to show everyone behind the curtain what's going on, not just with cost of goods, but with operations as well. So this is about setting, preparing homeowners for what their experience is going to be like as they go solar. And if any of you other leaders that I had talked to are on and available and you want to jump in at any point during this, you're more than welcome to. Preparing the homeowner for example, there's a consumer protection document in California that's 23 pages long. If you just blindly send a contract to a homeowner without an explanation about what they're receiving in that DocuSign, that might raise some questions, right? When it gets very detailed and talks about a lot of things that may not even apply to every homeowner. So making sure that you understand the process, not just of Powur, but of going solar in whatever state or jurisdiction can make the process a lot more smooth. Jarrett, anything off of this slide that you think is important to highlight?
Well, when it comes to the agreement, the solar agreement, definitely I would highly advise against just sending it to a homeowner and having them sign that. More often than not, they're not going to get that thing signed back because it is 36 pages or 40, when it's all said and done with everything. And if you're not there to help guide their hand through there and get them to sign it, they're going to feel overwhelmed. They're going to feel they don't want to just sign something. So what's the other option? Them reading the entire thing? Good luck with that. Who has time for that? So definitely take the time, especially if you're doing it on a Zoom call, get them to share their screen. Go through it with them and guide them through that, make them feel comfortable. Another thing about setting up expectations, I love it in the beginning, you know. This is a journey and it can take some time. Set the proper expectations. You know, when people ask me how long is it going to take, I typically tell them 60 to 90 days. I said, that's what we're shooting for. I said, could it happen sooner? Sure, but I would never promise you that. Could it happen longer? Absolutely. This is a construction project, you know, and that line saying, while we want it to be seamless, things do come up. And just say, hey, but the thing, you know that if something does come up, that we will handle it and we will take care of it. Also, lead times on when they can expect to get a phone call, when they're going to do the site survey. I let them know that this is the busiest time of the year. Hands down, our project managers, they have their plates full right now. Everybody just went solar. I mean, you look at why we're talking right here.
Right.
So
we just sold 23 megawatts, right?
Yeah. And you don't want to position it in some way to where you're like, hey, we're too busy and you're making the wrong decision with going with us, but just let them know it's a construction project and things do take time. And always don't overpromise and underdeliver. Do the opposite.
Yeah.
Tell them that, hey, they can expect a phone call in the next 5 business days for a site survey. And if they get a call the next day, great. But if some snag happened on the back end and it got into contract review and you weren't aware and it didn't get cleared, if they're thinking they're going to get a call the next day, now on day 3, they're calling you stressing out. And now you're stressed out and you're trying to get a hold of a project manager. So just push everything out a little bit. And when things happen faster, you'll look good. That's my tip to you guys.
Yeah, there's a couple questions that came in. Somebody was saying a script would really help to sound more knowledgeable for those that are new. So what I would recommend is that, you know, if you're new, obviously you're going to be using a tier 3 seller on the platform to walk you through everything. So when you do that with a tier 3, you can ask them to record, calls as, they are presenting with you on that Zoom. But this is a guide for a script of what to talk about, with as far as the homeowner presentation. And we did training on setting expectations. Cynthia did a great training on that this last week. So that's available in Knowledge Base also. Jane was asking, what's our national average install time from contract signed to interconnection?
30 days. Just joking.
It's 3 days. 3 days.
Yeah.
That was the fastest. That was the fastest we've had from signed to install. But from signed, processed to install is 43 days is the number that I've heard. But PTO can depend on jurisdiction and utility. You can add 2 to 4 weeks. Plus that usually. And Lily's asking about sample copies of loan docs. Yes, we have those in Knowledge Base as well, if you search contract in there. So this slide, I want to mention one more thing that thanks to Rachel, we have project handoff notes. I can't say how important this is for your project manager to have important notes about this project, whether it's about an adder you put in, the meters behind a locked gate, something about the homeowner, they're worried about, the tree in their front yard. Whatever that is, put all of that into the project handoff notes so that the project manager has that information. That'll help your jobs go a lot more smoothly as well. So what you can expect before a sale. Scott, this is not in Knowledge Base. This is just our slides for today, some of which are from masterclass last week. So grab a screenshot of these as we go through them if you want to save them. These slides right here are also in the pinned post in Solar Warrior Tribe on our Facebook group, and I can share those in Powur Hitters as well. If you have a question, check knowledge base, then ask a tier 3 seller, then ask your team for Powur Hitters or for Solar Warrior Tribe. We both have groups where you can go in and ask a question, whether that's a WhatsApp group, Telegram group, or Facebook group. Ask the rest of the team, get the hive mind input on whatever your question is, and then you can ask sales support via chat. And if that's not working out, if you're not getting the answer, then you can send an email to support as well. And that will create a ticket that if you don't get a response in 1 business day, you can reply to that ticket and add communications escalation at powur.com to that email thread. Anyone else want to say anything about pre-sales here before a sale?
I just want to throw one thing in too for all our new folks in here. One thing I've noticed with homeowners, especially if you're doing it Zoom, ideally you could sign it with them like Jarrett's requesting, but make the expectation, let them know there's 2 DocuSigns coming. We have our HIC and we have our loan docs, and also let them know about the auto pay. I've had people really upset that they didn't know that it was based off auto pay. So having a check ready for them to do their checking and routing number is a really good step, because otherwise you're going to get tickets down the road of auto pay needs to be set up. So kind of getting that out of the way is very important as well.
Yep, that's really good. Thanks, Owen. Yep. And let's go to post sales. Oh, sorry, we've got what to expect. So hours for support are Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. through 7 p.m. Pacific on all channels. And then on the weekends at 7 a.m. Through 4 p.m. Pacific on chat only. So just that's what exists right now. They are ramping that up significantly to get faster turnaround times. Chat hasn't been too bad, but email has taken a while. So that's being ramped up right now. And what you can expect after a sale. So in the project, for those of you who are new, there's a milestones tab, and in the upper right-hand corner and over on the left column, there's notes from the project manager and build partner about that project. So if you've got a question, that's the first place to go and look in the project after it is sold. Then you can go into tickets, that's another tab. And if you've already got a ticket in there, you can look for responses, or you can start a new ticket to the project manager. And that should be less than a 24-hour response time. Okay. So if it is, I think what our next thing here. Yeah, so if it is not responded to in 24 hours, then your first escalation is to go to Powur Chat, chat.powur.com. You can also find it from your portal in the left-hand side of the menu. Second escalation is that you can send an email again to that same email that we mentioned previously, communication escalation at powur.com. And here's what you make sure you do. First of all, don't write a book. A book is not going to get read, but put in the subject line the homeowner name and the project ID. You can now copy and paste that from the project into the subject line of your email. And then in the body of the email, put a screenshot of the unresponded to or unresolved ticket that you are sending in about. And for setting correct expectations for what happens next, I've never received a reply on that email that I have sent to communications escalation. What I have seen is stuff gets done. The project manager replies, somebody reaches out, and things start to happen. Generally, that's what happens. Sometimes it's more involved and it takes some time, but that's what to expect after the sale. Okay. Jarrett, any other?
Real quick, Tom, yeah, just one last thing before we jump on to Powur Day. As far as the pre-sales and setting expectations, one way to not shoot yourself in the foot, which I did multiple times last week when I had roofing projects or I had roofing adders, is that I knew that there was going to be a little bit, I wanted to pad the project because I knew we had some roofing additions we wanted to throw on there, not necessarily re-roofing, but like the adder for mounting it. And I want to give myself a cushion. So I put the amount in the roof work adder. Do not do that unless you have a roofing proposal from Powur that you're ready to attach to it. Because what happens then is if you put any dollar amount in roofing adder, it then will get sent to contract review. It will pause it from being passed on. They're looking for a roofing proposal and it will delay your project from moving forward. So just a pro tip, do not put anything in that column unless it is a true roofing replacement or you have a roofing proposal from Powur, not just a solo one.
Yeah.
And Jared, just to add on to that, they want you to request a proposal if there's any roof work to be done. So even if it is something less than a re-roof, you can go through, request a proposal and get to Powur Roofing and say, this is what I want to have done. And they'll send you back an estimate on what they expect that to take. So,
Correct.
And there's also a 1 to 3 day delay in having them produce that. So just keep your customers advised that it might take a little longer to get that estimate.
Yeah, and if you do process a deal with a roof, let them know this isn't standard, or it's not standard time. It's going to take a little bit longer. I'd give it at least 5 business days when they sign paperwork with a roof project. So those are my pro tips to not shoot yourself in the foot.
Jarrett, doesn't Bill's voice sound good? He should be on radio. I've got this fancy mic and I don't sound as good as Bill on probably laptop microphone. Thanks, Bill.
Smooth and calming.
Smooth.
I have a fancy mic, but I don't know how to use it. This is Yeti, but I haven't figured out how to use it with Zoom yet. So, thank you.
Well, Bill, Jarrett, Owen, Scott, and Philippe. Am I missing anybody? So we're going to be together this coming Saturday this is Virtual Powur Day on September 17th, this coming Saturday at 10 a.m. NorCal time. So we're going to be together hosting a NorCal Virtual Powur Day, but there are lots of other virtual Powur Days that are happening all across the country. So if you go to powur.solar/Powur/day, which the address is in on the top left of this slide here, you can see all of the different events that are happening this Saturday, September 17th, 10 a.m. local time. So this is being run by local leaders. There's going to be a career presentation to talk about working on the Powur platform. You definitely want to invite your guests to that. And then there's going to be some trainings that follow that are regionalized for that local area. For NorCal, we're going to be talking a bit about Pacific gas and electric and the joys of that big and bad utility. If you've got any questions about Virtual Powur Day, please post them in the chat. And we've got a ton of leaders on right now that can answer those questions. It's free, it's virtual, it's on Zoom, and you should be inviting your guests that you want to work with to that starting right now, if not already. We're going to fly here because we've only got a couple minutes left, but I'll just show this. This is the new product updates in Texas and California. This has all been sent out already. I just want to make sure that everybody had kind of this information that we had shared last week. And also a note that, like in California, Longy 355s, those are 55 cents a watt. What actually shows in our proposal tool is that plus sales tax, if sales tax is in that state, which in California and Texas, there is sales tax. Okay, so just some clarification there. So just about mission 415 change orders, this has been sent out as well, but just wanted to mention this. You can grab a screenshot of this if you wanted this information and didn't have this information. And finance updates. So feds are raising rates. We are in an interesting climate of change, not just with our planet, but also with financing, across the world and in our neck of the woods here in America as well. So the urgency that you can use is to let people know that, especially if they have a lower interest rate loan, that may not be available soon, and we don't know exactly when, other than October. So if you have quotes out there for 1.49%, I would reach out to them and let them know feds are raising rates and finance companies are taking this away as an option. If you wanted to get that low rate, you can use that now. Also, get with your teams, with your mentors and your leaders about if you need help about pivoting to some higher interest rate and lower loan amount options. That's what happens. As you raise the interest rate, the loan amount drops, right? So we've done some training on this within the last couple months, but if you need help, please reach out to a mentor or someone who's in a leadership position on your team. And look at this. This is the latest numbers that came out yesterday for the Summer of Champions. I don't know. There's somebody with the initials JB that is maybe in the #1 spot right now, but I'm super proud of Jonathan and his brother Chris and his team of well over 1,000 people on power hitters right now. But it's also super exciting to see a lot of other names who are on this leaderboard who are even outside of the power hitter team and Solar Warrior Tribe teams. This is anybody's game here for a lot of these people. And it's super fun that we get to do this each summer. And, some people love contests and other people could care less. They just want to go sell solar. But it's nice to see, people from your team who show up on this list and are doing well. And we've only got how many days left until this is over? It's the 13th right now, and this ends on the 15th for the 2022 Summer of Champions contest. So good luck to everyone. And keep selling through the end here. One of the things that you can use to leverage is the Labor Day promotion. I wanted to show this incorrect slide. It says that it ends September 3rd, but it's actually the end of this month. So it goes through the end of this month, okay? So you've still got that as an option. You can go to incentives in the proposal, and you can check or uncheck hidden to show or not show this. Okay. So we're going to promote the next event. The next big event with Powur is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific for the what? For the Breakthrough Mastermind. It's an hour-long Zoom. You can go to powur.live to get access to log in. It is open to every seller in Powur now. And this is what we do typically 3 or 4 Wednesdays a month, depending on how many Wednesdays there are and what month it is. So you can get company updates straight from the horse's mouth, although Mr. Bunch is not equine necessarily, but straight from a guy that knows a lot. And also we get to break out into different rooms and talk about our key performance indicators in our business, what's working, what's not working, and get help from other people. So it's a really great resource that especially if you are someone that wants to grow your business and fast track growing your business, recommend this for you. And it is tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. All right. We are on the hour just about here. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Jarrett, you got any last words for us?
I don't know. I'm 2.5 miles into my walk, dude. I'm sweating. I'm done. No, but great training. That was awesome. Way to keep us on track. And yeah, hopefully everybody got some, at least a nugget or two out of this hour. So
Yeah,
make it worth
definitely.
your time.
Thank you, my co-host Jarrett. Thank you to Jason from
Got it, brother.
SolarEdge. Thank you to all of you from Solar Warrior Tribe and Power Hitters. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. And I will jump into Power Hitters and Solar Warrior Tribe and post the link to the homeowner presentation just to make sure that everybody has that. So thank you all.
You guys kill it.